welcome back to Hidden Tennessee State Parks. After a morning exploring Indian Mountain, I headed south, chasing clouds through the Cumberland Mountains until I reached Cove Lake State Park. By then, the rain had settled in, steady and cold, the kind that blurs the lines between the water and the sky. This park kind of feels like a story caught between the mountains and the mist. Back in the 1930s, the Civilian Conservation Corps, or CCC, came here. Young men with shovels and grit, building stone bridges, picnic shelters, and the dam that still shapes this lake today. Their work turned farmland and floodplain into a place of rest, a place where people could finally find beauty again in hard times. Everywhere you look, their craftsmanship endures. Hand-cut limestone, careful lines, the kind that detail the last nearly a century later. It's more than history, it's the foundation of Tennessee's entire state park system. So I just got here to Cove. Where am I? Oh, the sign is right behind me, so that was convenient. Cove Lake State Park, and I went to go stamp my little passport book. And I saw on there that the Cumberland Trail is also here, and I was just really confused about like what the whole situation was. So I went into the visitor center and just asked them like because I know Cumberland Mountain State Park is not here. I was just really confused about it. So anyway, I guess what it is there is part of this long trail system. They gave me a map because I don't know how, I'd never heard of it, but it's not complete, so it's not even something that you can really do. But it is the Justin P. Wilson Cumberland Trail State Park. It is not a state park. It is a trail that you can take for a total of 63 miles, and you can see here where it is in Tennessee. And it's basically like they wanted to make something like the App Trail, but just in Tennessee. And so it's currently being developed. All the blue spots on here are where they don't have it completely developed yet, but I just thought this was so interesting. So this is just one of the places where you can pick up that trail. Now, unfortunately, you can only go about 3 miles on the trail from here because there was this whole thing about like the land was sold and the portion that was allowed to, that had this trail marked on it, was sold, and now they have to like reroute the whole thing, which just seems crazy. You'd think that'd be part of the sale agreement. Anyway, not my business. So head of the Sequatchie is where I should go, near Crossville. It's the head of the Sequatchie Trailhead. They have a lot of names, but it's right here in Crossville, and that's really where I need to go to do some of the hiking. Anyway, I just thought this was fascinating. So I did stamp my passport book, and I feel like it was a lie. And I feel guilty that I did it. Now I need to tell you so that just get that off my shoulders and come to terms with it and move along. But I am going to drive through this park so that we can check out everything that it has to offer. It's another sweet little park before we get on a hiking trail. So let's do it. All right, folks, there's the visitor center. The ladies in there were incredibly helpful and knowledgeable describing that whole area, especially when I walked in. I'm not even sure I understood my question. So I don't know how they understood my question, but very nice. Let's see, we're gonna head this way. It says not much, speed limit 20. I usually go slow in state parks regardless, just because there's so many kids around. And honestly, I never know where I'm going. It's a really pretty tree in front of us. Oof, she nice. All right, so it looks like shelters, campground, boat dock, and some more shelters. So let's just go over here real quick. I love getting sneak peeks of the campground before I figure out where the hike is. Not sure what that is. I don't expect a lot of people to be out and about today. I'm sure this park is bumping when it's beautiful, but right now, what happened? Campground, boat dock, shelters are they off property? I'm so confused. Oh, it's closed. Interesting. All right, hold on. All right, that is closed, but I see something else down here. This just looks like bathrooms, but let's check this out. Boat dock, kayak launch, there's shelter, people having a little party. Bathrooms, little playground, some shelters on the lake. This is really pretty down here. But I guess that whole entrance, they must be redoing their campgrounds. That guy's running. Cove Lake daily use kayak and canoe. Oh yeah, they've got a little launch here. Little boat dock. Cute, cute, cute. That's what Grandma Joe would say. Cute, cute, cute. Oh, he forgot his fishing pole. I think it's like a thing to fish in the rain, right? Isn't it better? I don't know. Am I might be going the wrong way. Oh, there's something. Okay, we will go back and check out the state park. Cove Lake. Okay, so this just looks like a fun rec area. There's a playground, a bunch of shelters, picnic areas. I hope I don't have to come all the way back here. I really don't know what hike I'm doing yet. I haven't looked at the map in very classic Amanda style. But that's okay. Okay, so it's a barbecue restaurant. Definitely a wedding. How fun! Cute, 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 cute. Well, I want no piece of that, sir. Okay, well, this was neat because we got to see the whole park on this little drive around. And I'm going to check the map and find out where to go hiking. So I just got to the trailhead. I am going to take the volunteer trail loop, which is part of Cove Lake State Park. And also part of that nifty trail I was talking about earlier. So now I don't feel like such a fraud that I stamped the passport, because it's kind of a 2-for-1. Yeah, I feel like a little bit of a fraud because I didn't really mean to do it. But they don't. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Technically, you can get to this trail from the state park by going on another trail, crossing over this road behind me, and then picking up the trail here. But I just drove over just because it is really rainy outside. And I really thought that was like a paved trail, and I wasn't really interested in doing that today. So let's get ready to rumble. Just kidding. But I am gonna get everything set up and ready. Oh, my hood's attached so that when I get out, I'm just ready to go. Might be overkill. I don't know. It got a lot colder since this morning. This morning it was like 57, 58 degrees, and now it's 47 degrees, like 10 degrees colder. And I just was not really prepared for that. So luckily this jacket was still in the car from yesterday. So I have my sweatshirt, my jacket, and the t-shirt that I was wearing when I thought it was going to be 60 degrees while I was hiking. Sometimes that's like, well, it's perfect, but 47's chilly, also perfect. And I am going to put my backpack on, get my raincoat on, and head on this hike. All right. So here we are. As you can probably possibly see, this trail is like right on the highway. This is the part that is part of the Cumberland Trail system. I'm definitely the only lunatic out right now. Ruh-roh. What is this? Ooh, it's cold. Absolutely got much. This is so odd. What is happening here? I mean, I guess just don't want. So Cumberland Trail State Park, volunteer loop, 0.2 miles. That's not what it said on my map. But I'm gonna stick with this side because volunteer loop is the name of the thing that I wanted to go on, but on the map, on the Avenza map, it's that's what it's called. No, it's not a super long one. I think it was like 1.5 miles. Really don't enjoy being near all of that road traffic. I mean, it's major highway 75. So hopefully we can get up here on this hike and get away from that. Man, I did not realize how much I enjoy hiking in the rain, though. It is so beautiful. Look how huge. I thought the other leaves were huge. Holy moly. That's like 2 of my faces. Hi, buddies. The forests here at Cove Lake tell their own quiet story, one of transition, really. Down by the lake, it's all rich hardwoods like oaks, hickories, maples, and sweet gum, glowing golden even on gray days. But climb just a little higher and you'll start to see the pines, tall, slender trunks rising straight through the fog. There are mostly Virginia pines and shortleaf pines, tough evergreens that thrive on the rocky slopes and dry ridges of Cumberland Mountains. In the 1930s, when the CCC worked this land, they planted many of these trees, helping restore worn-out farmlands into living forests again. You'll also spot a few eastern white pines here and there, soft, silvery needles swaying like threads of mist. Together, these trees make up that classic East Tennessee blend, evergreen and deciduous, mountain and valley, each season laying its own color over the last. Even on a rainy day, the scent of pine carries through the air, sharp, clean, and ancient. It's a reminder that the forest here isn't just scenery, it's a living legacy. Okay, looks like I go up. I'm gonna have to be really careful coming back down. This is already looking sippy. And it's a pretty steep little incline. I'm definitely going to be doing a little huffing and puffing. Right there is the main highway. A lot of road noise. I would have gone for some of the other trails back closer to the visitor center, but they were really short and paved, and it's just not what I was wanting. Really, I know they have a fully accessible playground there, which is awesome, but just not what I was looking for today. This is really pretty. Okay, here's the split. So I got some of the Cumberland Trail, but we're doing volunteer loop. I mean, it's cool to think like I've got this whole, well, I didn't see any other cars there. There might be some hikers, but I think it's just me. Days like this, quiet, gray, and empty, remind me how peaceful solo hiking can be. But being out here alone also means being prepared. I always make sure somebody knows where I am and when I plan to be back. I pack layers, hope to remember to bring water, a small first aid kit, and a backup battery for my phone, even on the short trails. Out here, cell service can fade fast and weather can turn just as quickly. So I check the map, I check the weather. Before I start, I stay on marked trails and I pay attention to the daylight because the mountains get dark earlier than you think. Most everybody I meet on the trail is wonderfully kind, like-minded, cares about the environment, is out here to appreciate this beautiful planet we live on. But not everybody. So if I'm solo, I just make sure to stay aware and protect myself.
Solo hiking isn't about being fearless. It's about being aware, staying calm, and respecting the wild places that welcome us. That's what keeps these moments peaceful instead of risky, and lets me come home with stories instead of close calls.
Gosh, some of these leaves are just fantastic. Look at that. Nature is too beautiful. It's really lovely. So peaceful. I don't know about you, but that looks like a triceratops skeleton to me. Right? You see it? Whoops. That's the other thing about hiking in the fall. The leaves really cover up the trail. and it's not always easy to tell exactly where to go. You look around, you can kind of figure it out, but always really good to have a reliable map on hand. So I did double check, and this loop trail is 1.55 miles, so not super long, but she's pretty. So just through here, there's like this little lake. Just out in the middle of nowhere. Let's see if we can get a better view. Great little pond though. But the aquatic life here in the spring is so fun to listen to. No ducks to scare here though. Up we go. That is not the way we are going today. Well, y'all, I didn't know if I'd find any mushrooms. And look at this beauty. Giant chicken of the woods. Just so you can compare. It's like 4 times the size of my hand. Gorgeous. What a great little staircase. Thumbs up. I love moss. You're perfect. You go, baby. Oh, I love these little knobby ones too. Oh my gosh. Boop, boop. Ooh. Boop, boop. Well, just completed this trail. Feeling like oddly at peace. The trail does that to me a lot. And I was a little worried with all of the traffic that I was hearing that maybe that wouldn't happen. But I just ended up tuning it out, appreciating what was around me, and staying focused in just the moment that was. And it was a really beautiful moment. Even though it wasn't a super long hike or really intense or anything crazy, it was exactly what I needed. So it was really great.
Cove Lake State Park may seem small, but it's a crossroads where history, nature, and trail all meet. A place built by hand, carried by time, and still connecting Tennessee one step at a time. On a gray day like this, it feels like the mountains are whispering their story. All you have to do is stop and listen. Thanks for joining me on another stop through hidden Tennessee state parks, where wrong turns always lead to the right views. I'll see you next time.